and welcome to the Offer's first foray into the world of RPG tabletop gaming. This is gaming. This is going to be a live, well, not live, but a tabletop live play, actual play, that's the word I'm looking for, show. I, Paul, am going to be your general master, your dungeon master, your game master, whatever you prefer to call me, I will be it. And I'm so excited to be here with our wonderful friends. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
hello,
no.
everybody.
You did the thing. No.
Hello, welcome to the Roll-fer.
The Roll-fer.
Work in progress.
We're working on it.
Name in progress.
Let's go around and give ourselves some quick introductions. We'll begin with Cesar, my co-host on The Offer, who will be playing. And if you could just introduce yourself and tell us the name of the character you're playing.
I'm Cesar. I enjoy long walks on the beach, and I'm playing Mick, a male variant human artificer level 3.
All of that is very important. Every piece of detail there, very important. Great. And we'll take you to that beach very soon. Awesome. And could we now hear from the wonderful Chris? Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Chris, and today I will be taking on the role of Thing, who is a thing. But we'll get into that later on.
We'll get into what thing is Thing's thing later
Yes.
on.
The trademark
in the thing.
Yes.
It's a generic thing.
It's a generic thing. No, I'm not going to say it's clobbering time.
We will avoid.
Just change the words and we'll be fine.
It's clubbing time.
Raving
Great.
time.
Looking forward to that scene with Thing in the club. And finally, Benjamin, please introduce yourself.
So, my name is Benjamin. I do not like long walks on the beach, and for this campaign, I'm going to play Corbar Birthing II, a gnome bard.
Woo! And once
Oh,
again,
boy.
Perfect. Love it already. So this is the Offer's first foray into the world of tabletop gaming. It is our Roll-fer. We're very excited to share this with you. This will be coming out on Thursdays, alternating with our normal episodes. You can
But you
subscribe.
probably already knew that, because if you're listening to it, it's probably Thursday.
Yeah, you're probably Thursday. What time?
Mind blown!
We're still doing our normal episodes on The Offer, and we're trying this out. So please make sure you subscribed to our podcast channel at anchor.fm/theoffercast, or find us on YouTube. You can find all that on our website at theoffercast.com. And without any further ado, you guys, are we ready to play?
Yeah,
As ready as I'll ever be.
As ready as we'll ever be. Here we go. We open in the small, quiet town of Ledgewood. A little town of has-beens, a place that used to be a wonderful place, now a small fishing and farming town. Not much ever happens in little quiet Ledgewood. But today is different from all the other days. We fly over the top of the town and zoom into a little house along the lakeside. Perhaps one of the nicest towns in the town. And up on the 3rd floor, we come into the bedroom of a small little gnome who is just waking up as the sun comes over the horizon. And we come in through his window and we see there, just waking up, Corbar. Corbar, would you please describe your character and what his room looks like?
Okay, so Corbar's room is just a mess of all these knickknacks. You have like entire wall of just different instruments. You have different kinds of lutes, these little drums, pan flutes, and things you don't even know how they work. Like, do you put your fingers into these holes or you blow in them? You don't even know what it is. And then there are like these little kind of cutesy things, like little dolls and like kind of like a painting in the corner that's kind of amateurish, that just shows like some stick figures holding hands, and another painting that's actually really nice, that's drawn by his friend Galgan. It's of a landscape of a river by the town, and that's pretty much the gist of it. And like the bed itself, that is pretty messy, and he's in it and he's kind of rolling around. slowly waking up and kind of just stumbles out of bed. And once he's out of bed, he's just kind of like jumping up and like ready to go.
As you jump and are ready to go, you hear from downstairs a like rustling of papers and things downstairs as there's someone moving around doing things down below. You recognize from the sound of this that this is your uncle Takshurimas, who is moving around doing things and seems upset. So I'm like,
Uncle Taki, what's going on? Hey, Uncle Taki, something wrong?
He's down 2 flights of stairs. He's in the main room. You can't quite hear what
Okay, so Corbar goes downstairs.
You go down the stairs, they wind, they're like a circular set of stairs. There's lots of rooms off to the side, many studies, like a whole library wing full of various things. And you come down into the main room where you find your uncle, who you can see where he was recently seated in the middle of his living room doing one of his morning rituals, and he's gotten up and he's like moving around and he's writing things on various surfaces around. Corbar, hello. Good to see you. Welcome. I think there's food somewhere in the over there. I'm sorry. I'm just something's not quite right.
Yeah. No?
Oh, well, yeah. You know how I do that thing where I have little visions about the day to come every morning.
Yeah.
I get those little insights. And, well, usually I get very specific, sort of like, oh, that's going to be very good. Or like, oh, that would be very bad. Like, like the one time there was going to be a lightning strike. And I was like, cool, let's douse the house in water. That was wonderful.
And then the garden almost went on fire.
Right, we had forgotten about the garden. But, we got the house, which is what mattered to me. Like, the tomatoes, they were great roasted, I think, personally. But anyway, today I got back, nothing. Just blank. I just couldn't see into I just don't. And what you know, Corbar, is that your uncle is of the divination school of magic. And so each morning he gets a portent of what's going to come. And the way this works as a player is you roll mechanically to see like what sort of numbers you get. But what he's saying is that he didn't receive anything when he reached for his portents this morning. Just emptiness. And it's I've never experienced anything like it. So I'm making some notes, and I think I'm going to go perhaps look for some books, maybe in town, or I might have to leave town. I'm not really sure.
Uncle Taki, could it be like no sign is a sign?
He immediately writes that down. No sign is a sign. I don't know what that means. What is that? How do you interpret nothingness, huh? I don't know, Corbar.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, anyway, Galgan was here looking for you, but he's already gone. I was in the midst of like, anyway, I don't know what's gonna happen today. Oh my gosh! And he runs into the other room, obviously flustered and looking for some books and notes.
Have fun, Uncle Taki. I'll see you later.
You too. Stay safe out there. And you step out into the town, and you go looking for Galgan. You first look for Galgan at the normal river spot for him, but you don't find him there. And while you're standing at this little bridge that goes over a river that then heads into a lake, there's a woman on a porch nearby. Oh, Corbar, you're looking for Galgan?
Yeah. Hey, Lucinda.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Corbar. Lucinda's like still in sort of a robe. She's like in her pajamas, and she's got a robe on against the sort of morning chill. It's like a bit foggy out, and she's holding like a steaming hot tea. She's like, yeah, Galgan came by, but he said this wasn't actually the good spot today. He said there's somebody coming into town, and so we went to the crossroads.
Someone's coming to town? Wow,
Yeah.
No one has come into town for like 3 months.
I know. Ever since they built that pass through, nobody's really come through. But there's something big coming. So, anyway, he said to go find him at the crossroads. Do you want to take some tea to him?
I'd love some tea.
Okay, yeah. Here you go. And she hands you two sort of like
Wow.
cups that are like the lids are covered with like a piece of clay. It's a thermos. It's an old school thermos. Yeah, take that to him, and be careful. Don't spill any. Okay.
Okay, I'll do my best not to spill any. And then he just runs off, like barely not spilling it.
Well, yeah, roll a dexterity, just a dexterity check. Let's just see how much tea you spill for me.
Okay, let's see, dexterity check. Okay, so I get 15.
A 15, great. You spill a little bit, but most of the tea is still in the containers when you get there. The lids are both still on. You do a fine job, and you come up and you find Galgan is set up, and he has a canvas set up, and you see that as you arrive, he started to work just on the ground. He hasn't started up above yet. He's mostly just doing the road.
Galgan!
Oh, Corbar, you found me. I wasn't sure. I went to your house and then I went to the spot and then, hey, hello.
I got tea.
Oh, lovely. It's so nice of you to have
I only
tea.
spilled a little bit.
Oh, it's okay. It's great, even cold. And so Galgan's a little halfling, and he's got like paint all over his fingers, and under some of his fingers, and his hair is like tied back. He's got like a bandana on, and he's been working at this painting it's probably been an hour or so already. He's like done a really great job on the bone. It's so lovely to see you, Corbar. So Corbar, do you know there's a carnival coming? Did you hear about it?
What? A carnival? Do you know how much I love carnivals? Like when I was a kid, like Uncle Tommy took me to see a carnival. It was like the greatest thing ever, and I haven't seen a carnival ever since then.
Okay, yeah. This is the Carnival of the Moon. It never goes to the same place twice, and it's coming here. And it's like that's crazy because nothing ever comes here, right? So I am going to paint the moment it arrives. I'm going to be the painter that paints the Carnival of the Moon arriving.
So then we can have like the carnival here forever in a painting.
Well, yeah, in a painting, yes. And then I'm thinking I might take it to them, and then I want to pitch it to them, and maybe I'll like sell paintings of the carnival arriving. Like I'll try. I'm thinking this might be my big break, Corbar.
So that means you're gonna leave the town?
Well, for a little while. I don't know. I mean, just like I really need the exposure. It's really hard. There's not much of an art market out here in Ledgewood.
Yeah. I remember you like tried to sell some of the paintings, and everyone was just like, we already have one of your paintings because you've sold all your paintings to everybody.
It certainly didn't help that I gave away a bunch of them first, and then I tried to sell them that like sort of established a pretty low value for them. But that's okay. This is gonna be
I
the
value
moment.
them.
Oh, thanks, Corbar. Here, I have another one for you. And he hands you a painting. It's like, it was a very quick sketch where he was like at the river before he went. But it's actually quite nice. It's like a pretty good, like the river sort of curves and it sort of fades out around the outside, sort of vignetted. I think it looked really good in like an oval painting. Frame.
I'll put it next to my other Galgan painting.
As these two are talking, there's someone coming down the road. This is not the carnival. This is someone with a horse attached to a cart, pulling some equipment in the back. And the gnome and the halfling turn and look, and they see coming down the road a person in a cart. And this person is Mick. Mick, could you please describe yourself as you are traveling on the road?
Mick is an old man traveling with his automatic, magnificent, and incredible popcorn machine that delights all the children around the towns in the immediate area. He like next to him he has his conjured homunculus sitting next to him, which is basically a meatball with legs, which is in a state of perpetual dread. It can't feel pain, but it knows of its disposable nature, so it knows it's gonna die really, really soon. It just doesn't know when.
And as Mick rolls up, he sees two small creatures, one sort of, sort of round looking and paint all over his fingers. And he sees a gnome, and they're both sipping little bits of tea. And the halfling looks at him and goes, "Oh, hello, are you the carnival? Are you the carnival? I have to paint you."
Good morning, children of all ages.
Oh my god, it is a
welcome.
carnival! Can you like do the magic trick where you just take like flowers out of your hat, or just like make a little rabbit grow really big or something?
Alright, shut up. I only bring the magic of popcorn.
Oh my god, I've never seen the magic of popcorn!
Can I paint it?
Whoa. 5, what's the currency in this world?
Gold pieces, silver pieces, copper pieces.
We just
standard.
like
5
pieces.
copper pieces. 5 pieces.
I don't have that. I'm sorry. I need that to pay my rent. So I just won't paint you, I guess, and you see.
Great. How about you?
Galgan, I have a few pieces. I could buy some magical popcorn for you.
All right, 2 bags of popcorn. Glub glub. So the homunculus gets ready, grabs 2 already ready-made bags of popcorn that were in a box in the truck. Like, give them over here. All right, right. Mick slaps Glub glub, takes the 2 bags, and kicks him back into the truck, into the cart. All right, there you go. It's 10 pieces.
Is Glub Glub gonna be okay?
Don't worry about Glub glub. He likes it.
Glub Glub's on his back in the cart and can't get up because he's a meatball with legs. He's like a turtle stuck. He's like.
He looks like he's stuck.
Well, yeah. So he won't run away. How do you make sure your help doesn't run away from you?
You see Glub Glub get up in the back, and he's trying to get out of the cart, but he can't jump over it. Like he's trying to run away, but he can't.
So 10 pieces.
Okay, so Corbar hands him 10 pieces.
Very good. Well, pleasure making business with you. Now, let me ask you a little bit of a puzzle in word form.
Uh-huh.
You know where the carnival's heading to?
We're looking for it now.
Galgan has already pointed. He says, "I know it's going over that way. It's going in the old field across the way, which is
You
mostly."
didn't tell me that.
Over. Well, we're coming down the crossroads. You either go into the town or you go over there. That's where it's headed.
Oh, that's a good point.
But as he like gestured to the town and gestured this way, something has caught his eye, and he's looking up over behind them, his mouth just agape. And he immediately starts painting. And if you decide to turn and look, you look over behind you, and you see floating just over the horizon, a giant airship, glittering with lights on all sides, rolling over and over as it comes in. And as it comes closer, you see that it has like bits of Carnival, like big top in various colors. There's like sections of bright colored rings and fairy lights dancing all around it. And this is the ship of the Carnival of the Moon as it arrives. And we zoom into this airship. There's many areas and docks and like lots of small little places where people can stay. But at this moment, they're all empty because everyone is down. Everyone is down in the main deck where they have all gathered. It's an observation deck, big glass windows all around, looking out above. You can see Ledgewood down to the right and a big field in front. And at the very front of it stands Monsieur Moon, the man who organizes the carnival. He's in a long black coat, and he surveys the crowd in front of him, who seem quite somber. And he looks around at them all. And so they've all gathered. We've got acrobats, we've got carnies, we've got big muscle men, and we've got bearded ladies. We've got fire breathers who are sort of spinning their fingers as fire glows there. And as Monsieur Moon paces in the front, he also has his trusty bodyguard, which is standing by over on the right, which is Thing. And Thing, could you just describe yourself as part of this carnival of assortments?
Imagine the largest strongman you've ever seen in a carnival, and add another head on top of that. That is how large this behemoth of wood and metal and it actually stands. For those of you that understand metric, he's like 2.25 meters. For those of you that understand imperial, convert that to imperial. And his rippling muscles are made out of what appears to be wood, not very dissimilar from that of the ship. It's this strange mixture of lignum vitae and purple wood, creating these varied patterns of cords and tendons and sinews, almost as if somebody had shaped a tree into that of a large human being. But over that, over the soft bits, over the stomach, over the chest, over the shoulders, are large interlocking plates of brass that at one point in time was bright and shiny and splendid, but today is chipped and scratched and looks like it hasn't been polished in months, if not years. In fact, on closer inspection, you see that there's actually holes where maybe an arrow once stuck in, maybe there was a sword, maybe it was just somebody threw a dagger and actually hit him. But at one point in time, this behemoth was clearly the pride of whoever had created it. But now, it's last year's model, last decade's model, last century's model, hasn't really been kept up. Instead of a face, you just see, I mean, it's got a face, but not really. It's got like two brass eye sockets where they should be, just behind which is simply darkness. And instead of a fully articulated jaw, it just kind of flaps like a Muppet, sort of, whenever it does speak, which is very rarely.
Very rarely. I would also add, as a final bit of flavor, there are carnival flags, right? Like the kind you'd see at the top of a big top that have been attached to it. Some by like being fixed to its back. Some seem to have been rammed into it at some point and left there, making him like festive and fun. There are some lights hanging off of it as well. But like there are these flags attached in a variety of ways. And Monsieur Moon walks in front
it's
of
like
Go on. Please, keep going.
I was just gonna say, it's like it's kind of like you know the winged hussars, how they had like the giant wings behind them when they rode into battle. If any of you guys are history nerds, it's this, but with the flags of the carnival. And those aren't strapped to his back. That's actually implanted into his back with spears. Yeah.
Can you describe what these flags look like?
Oh yeah, they're quite long. It's a dark purple, almost reddish, almost verging on black. It's that kind of light that you'll see just at twilight, just before the moon rises, but it's not quite there. Various different people will call it different colors, but you know it to be the color of midnight itself. And on that, in a simple silver stencil, just one solid, is just the moon.
This image is also on Monsieur Moon's coat as he walks in front of the room, and he waves to sort of silence the muttering crowd. Okay, I understand. We're worried. I know. Now, Madame Lavari was our most treasured acrobat. I know. She's incredible, and it's terrible that she's left us. I can't fathom why. A note and disappearing, it's a dirty thing to do to a people. And the crowd goes, yeah. And I hope that if any of you feel that perhaps your working conditions are not ideal, you'll tell me before you vanish into the night. Okay? And they'll go, oh, all right. Maybe we should unionize? Is it working? And our working conditions not ideal? That's enough. Now, we know that our lovely Apella, hop on top of the shoulders of the person in front of you. And a tiny halfling hops up on top of the shoulders of someone in front of him and puts her foot on his head. She stands there and bows, and the room goes, no. Apella's going to be wonderful. She's been the understudy for years, and this is her time to shine. So, everyone, give it your all. We must delight. It is our purpose. It is our joy. So, everyone to your stations will be arriving shortly, and I will begin the descent. Go. And he gestures for everyone to go, but he sort of indicates for Thing to stay. It's not really necessary. You know, Thing always sort of hangs out here. But he says, oh, you don't have to go just yet. The room trickles out as they're all sort of like, are our working conditions not ideal? I don't know. What would that be? I don't know what that would mean. Do I need more paid time off? And everyone exits. And as the last person exits and the door to the observatory deck shuts, Monsieur Moon kind of deflates. Oh, Thing, it's... With all of them, I have to be so... And he's staring off into the distance. I have to be so delighted all the time. I'm not really myself. But with you, I can always tell you the truth. Why is that, Thing? Why can I always tell you the truth?
Statement. Because I don't reject what you say.
So simple and so wise. We might be in deep trouble, Thing. the whole carnival sort of has culminated in this moment of Madame Lavari, and we've got lots of wonderful oddities. The Mirror House is still out of order, but lots of wonderful things, and I don't know, it might lack that magic at the very end. I don't know, Thing. I don't know if this might be our last one.
Question. What will Thing do then?
That is a good question, Thing. You should say good question next time you introduce that. It's hard to say. I don't know what I will do, and so I don't know what you will do. You've only ever helped me. I hope whatever happens, I hope you find a good purpose. Now, go down to the hangar and prepare to jump, okay?
Agreement. Yes.
You head down a series of long hallways. You have to sort of bend over in a bunch of them as you get lower down into the bowels. You hear the sort of the
Making sure the spears don't get caught in the ceiling.
Yeah, you sort of walk sort of bent over forward, and you head to a spot where it's just a door above. The airship has positioned over a field, and you look up and you can see sort of hanging off the side of it, with his sort of like attached via one of his shoulders in a bit of a harness, is Monsieur Moon, and he says, "Prepare, everyone!" And he begins to strum a lute. And as he strums it, the airship begins to descend and fall apart. There are lights as pixies dance, pulling parts of it, and it swirls around in circles. As like the big top sort of falls into place and descends. A huge tree grows up out of one zone. A tent full of sort of like dark tunnels and adventurer signs appear on it. A lake appears and a river of water appears around the edge of the carnival as it pours out of the airship. And slowly, carefully, this is all done so that no one gets hurt, but everything is sort of like put in place. It's gonna take maybe 4 or 5 hours before it's all ready. And the carnival, and it's all just accompanied by Monsieur Moon sort of strumming on the side of it. There is a farmer who was like nearby the field sort of surveying it, and he's just sort of like, whoa. And Monsieur Moon is aware of that, and he sort of winks at the guy as he plays his lute, and the carnival continues to set up. We cut back over to that crossing, where the three had just watched that ship fly over. It's been about the ship flying over took about 15 minutes. And what had those three decided to do back over in the crossroads?
Mick is getting ready to just leave and go.
Oh,
just like packing up. Yeah, you want more popcorn?
No. I just wanted to say, you're going? You're part of the carnival? Because Gogan's just painting. He's painting
yes.
furiously the airship.
Of course I am. I sell popcorn. That's a staple of every carnival.
But you're not on the ship.
So while Corbar was watching this interaction, he is eating the popcorn. Just by the way.
Yeah, Gogan has
see my goods, they get damaged at high altitude, so I need to transport it by land. And Glub, he's afraid of heights, and he's my number one priority.
He gets knocked back into the cart, and Mick begins to pull away. Gogan says, "I have this painting of you if you're ever interested in it." And he's done up a painting of an old man on a cart and a beautiful airship arriving above him at a crossroads.
By the way, Mick is dressed as a stereotypical fantasy wizard. Big hat, robes.
Big hat and robes. He is...
All right, kids. If you ever need more popcorn, you know where to find me.
It's really good popcorn. Have some, Galgan.
My hands are... Here, just feed it to me. And
I just throw it into his mouth, and like I may or may not do I roll for dexterity?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a ranged attack. Yeah, just roll me a dexterity check. Let's see if you hit his mouth or what happens.
Oh man, I got a 22. Okay.
Wow, you throw it right into the back of his mouth. That's really good. What the heck is this? I've never heard. What? What? So Mick leaves these two as they're sort of like remarking wonder
As
at
Mick
popcorn.
is leaving, he writes in his notebook, 2 small gray midgets, possibly magical, question mark.
Magical question mark. Great, lovely. He's got a journal. As you it takes about 15 minutes. There's a path to this spot where the carnival's set up. You arrive, and one of the very first things that gets established is a welcome tent. It has recently drifted down. You still see, as you pull up, the sort of like skeleton of the airship is still sort of floating and descending. But a variety of people have jumped off of it, including someone who towers over the rest of them, who is wandering around, who is like grabbing things as they come down and slamming them into the ground to put stakes into the ground, solidifying things and assisting the various but you're watching whole structures just sort of like float and levitate and be placed, as someone up on the top of it strums some strings and is like sort of guiding all of this as it happens.
Mick does a quick mental calculation in order to know where stuff is not gonna land, so he can sit up his cart.
Yeah, give me no, I'm not gonna make you roll. You'll understand why you don't have to roll for that. One of the first things that establishes, and it's less ceremonious than the rest. It's the welcome tent. Like it's a full on just like tent that drops down, and there's a man who's like pulling lines to pull it up. It's like, I really wish they would help with the. Oh hi, hello, can I help you?
Oh, yeah. The popcorn bender is here.
The what? You're a what?
Popcorn bender. I bend popcorn, then I sell it. Then I become a vendor. The popcorn vendor. Don't worry, I'll make myself at home. And he just goes in as if he owns the place.
What? Make an opposed athletics check as this guy tries to stop you.
I have no idea what that means.
Roll a strength check. You're gonna click on the strength button and roll it, and he's gonna roll a strength check, and see if he beats you. Tell me what you roll.
Oh, strength. I have 16. 16. I got 16.
16. That's so good. Unfortunately, he rolled a 17, and he's a strong man setting up a 10. So you try to get past him. He's like, whoa. All of our vendors have to. If you're a vendor, popcorn, whatever. Hi. I'm Goran. I'm in charge of like the welcoming people to here thing, and I also have a vendor contract that you gotta. We take a cut of all proceeds, and you also get access to the ticket situation.
Mick slowly gets off his cart with a bag of popcorn in his hand, hands it to him. Try this.
Wow, you can just eat a lot of this, can't you?
Yep.
This is...
And that of my procedures will, of course, go to your establishment at 10 to 15%. 10%. Yeah, that's what we agreed on, right? Ask your assistant. I'm pretty sure he knows what I'm about.
Maggie? And a tiny little goblin pops out. What? Did you know this guy? Nope, never heard of him. And she pops back into the tent. She's setting stuff up. But make a persuasion check with advantage, please, as he eats this delightful popcorn. So you're gonna click on the persuasion button, and you can click it twice. There's a way to like hold shift and it'll do it for you. But click it twice and you pick the higher one.
I need to find it first.
Yeah, it's in that list of skills. It's down. Yeah, sort of like survival, stealth, sleight of hand, religion, persuade. Yeah, you'll find it. I believe you. I'm just eating popcorn.
Wow.
Persuasion. Okay.
Yeah. So the first
that's
one's...
pretty bad. 6.
And roll one more time, because you have advantage because he's eating your wonderful popcorn.
15. That's
Okay.
better.
Just find me and settle up at the end. This stuff is really good. I think it'll sell gangbusters.
There we go. All right, 5%. See ya. And keeps going.
All right. Well, this is good stuff. Okay. So you...
I mean, you can see Glub just leaning from behind the cart with like teary eyes.
So you wander through the first you walk past a tower that is like drifting into place, like panels of wood are assembling. It's sort of like a lookout point. It winds through where the big top is coming into place. As you go by the big top, you see like wooden walls excuse me, wooden walls are coming into place, and where on one side there's like 12 different people who are pushing up one, on the other side there's just Thing, who is pushing a wall up into place alone by himself. As you walk by Thing, could you just roll a perception check on Thing for me, Mick?
Oh, not.
Sorry,
9.
Mick. Yeah, it's okay, Thing. Okay, 9. You see this machine, right, covered in various other stuff, but it's some sort of magical machine that you think you could like look at later and get more thoughts about. But it's pretty busy right now, so and it's in motion, so you can't really see it. And Thing, you rolled a natural 20 perception check?
I did.
Okay, you notice. Wow, you notice. Roll. Didn't ask, but I'll honor it.
I thought you were asking for me.
I
My
know
bad.
it's so hard to roll. Who am I telling to roll? I'll work on that.
Yeah.
As you're shoving this up, you arrive way before the other wall is ready, and you're just standing there. So you're just like free to like look around and observe. You're just sort of checking, is everything okay? You watch a strange man on a cart who you've never seen before come by, who is looking at you. He is looking straight at you. You also see a tiny little meatball crying in the back, who's not really looking at you, just like.
I'm not even trying to pretend. I'm not even trying to be subtle. I'm staring.
Yeah, he is staring at you. He is interested, and you get a sense that you should go see him later. That look seems to indicate he wants to talk to you. But he pulls off further down the back. As you were pulling away, Mick, Maggie said, like, vendors, all the way to the back. And you head all the way to the back, and leaving this area where they're setting up the big top. You go past another lookout tower that's establishing. You arrive at an area where there are obviously trees here, but they seem to have like stepped up and moved out of the way to create a ring along the outside. And there's various areas that have sort of been drawn out where there's going to be meat here, and there's going to be milk here, and there's going to be beer here, and there's like some space where you could pull in and set up a little stand. And so presumably you do.
I do. I set up my stand. It has it's way flashier than it needs to be. It's like 20 times as bright as the other stands. I have neon lights and floodlights. It's very out of place where it is.
The meatball is put in a top hat and is made to sort of dance. Like, no one's showed up yet, but it's just sort of dancing. Like,
yeah, well done, Blub Blub. Keep doing that for the next 5 hours, all right? Hey, no crying. No crying. That's much better. Press play on the boombox.
It presses play, and music comes.
It's clubbing time.
It's clubbing time. We got there. We drift away. Thing, you help establish the tent. Everything is set up. You know that you have to go at some point and meet Bromar, your boxing, the person you box with in the Big Top event. But you have, everything's kind of set up, and people are working sort of in micro level on their various stations. You have a couple of hours. What would you like to do with those couple of hours as you're wandering around looking at things?
Thing would like to sneak away from the hubbub, the crowd, just get a little bit of quiet time, and as Thing is, once Thing is outside of, most people's sight, he reaches into a satchel, a pack that's attached, strapped to his hip, and he brings out a small, many folded piece of paper and a small bit of charcoal, and he just starts sketching some of the people that he sees, some of the new people. He sketches Apella, and he sketches Gorin, and just as they're going about their daily lives, but Thing is focusing on their expressions. Thing is doing character studies of the different people as they're going through their day-to-day motions.
That's beautiful. You see,
meanwhile, Mick is spying Thing with a telescope on top of his cart.
And Thing is completely oblivious to this.
So I have to ask, where's my character?
You're coming
right
soon.
now?
I promise. I
Okay,
promise.
great.
I promise. You're in the town. We're gonna resolve your couple of hours of downtime in a second here. Great. So you see Apella practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Abella is practicing a routine. They're outside of the big top because the big top is still being established. There's benches moving and everything. She's practicing a thing that involves, they don't ever quite do it. It involves her being thrown quite far. And they do the various bits. She stands on somebody's shoulders. She does a flip. She lands. Someone picks her up, and they get right to the moment where she's thrown, and they go, okay, great, and stop there. And you see in her face each time that they get to that point and stop, like a great deal of nervousness. She's like, you see a nervous energy.
Focus on sketching that.
Yeah, you sketch that. You sketch Goran, who is, he's worked to set up the tent, and you see him eating popcorn, and he's just like a happy look on his face as he's like, wow, I can just eat this all day. It's just so
Sketch
good.
that, yeah.
You sketch a bunch of different looks. Mostly it's people who are working. They're like, they're like sort of trying to get through. They know they have like 4 hours before the carnival opens. And you get one sketch of Monsieur Moon, and Monsieur Moon looks. You've never seen the look before. I don't think you'd recognize it. It seems very distant, but it's hard to pin down. But you can get a sketch of it, and maybe later you can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You then also let's roll a let's do something here. Mick, why don't you roll a stealth check to see how stealthy you are with your telescope? And Corbar, if you could roll a perception check to see if you discover him. Also, what's your passive perception, just so I know?
My passive perception?
Mix.
Okay.
Sorry, Mix, and this is between Mick and Thing. I'm sorry. This is the
10.
I got a B.
Oh,
Natural
natural 20! I got
20
a B.
plus 1.
Awesome. Wow. So regardless, do you want to roll that perception thing to see if you get a natural 20? No, you're not. You're not even trying to look. Cool. So, totally in the shadows, in a position where his telescope glass gives no glint of light, is Mick watching. Mick, roll it with a natural 20 stealth check. That means you have lots of time to check this out. Roll a Arcana check for me with advantage. Arcana being the way your magic works.
Okay, oh, that's gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Oh my gosh, the first one's
17.
21. Oh no, 17. Great. So you roll a 17. You see a variety of, like, there's wear and tear on this machine, right? It's been damaged at some point, but not by carnival activity. You're seeing like old sort of like blast zones and stuff on it. And you also see that these flags that are attached to it. Oh, also you notice it's just sitting there. It's like watching people and sketching them sort of fumbly with a like giant fingers and a tiny, tiny pencil that it's sort of like doing its best to sketch. The tools are not made for its scale. So that's weird that it's doing that. And two, you notice that one of these like spears that are stuck into it, that are like attached to it rather, is stuck inside of it. Like it has been jammed into it in some sort of way that you would intuit probably interferes with its function. But you've seen it doing lots of stuff, so it doesn't seem to interfere with it like mechanically. And it just like keeps moving as if it doesn't notice that it has this thing rammed into the side of it. But you don't have time to approach it. We go back over to the town. Where
Before we go into that,
yes,
like, I'm
before we
looking
go.
for a serial number on this thing.
You're looking for a serial number. Okay, you find a set of numbers. You find hold on.
Thing has a serial number. Okay.
You see it says A T 653.
I see.
And what that means, you'll have to find out later. Yeah, AT653. Thanks. Okay. So the spyglass has like 3 times optical zoom to get like real close, and it finds that number on one of the panels that this thing has been jammed through.
He's just laying under. I just imagine him laying under his popcorn cart, just with like the glove, just laying over the thing to prevent glare, and he's just going enhance, enhance, enhance.
Precisely. The little optical zoom enabled. Okay.
And
great.
I'm just imagining somebody like walking by the car, it's like, I just want some more popcorn. Where's the popcorn guy? Oh well.
Glub glub. Take care of the customers.
We cut back to the town. It is now around 5. The carnival's gonna open around 6, you know.
Oh, I'm already selling popcorn and we don't have
No, there's no
visitors.
customers. You're just selling to other people who work there. They're spending the company money there. Okay, so Corbar, what are you up to? You have maybe an hour or two before it's time to head over for the carnival.
So first, Corbar is a bit of a community helper person. So I say he's gonna go to like this community garden to help out and like make sure things are like okay.
Great. Let's run that. Okay, so you walk up to the community garden. Oh, hey, Corbar! You come up. Hey, there's 12 different beds growing different things. One of them was burned because they forgot to douse it in that lightning strike a few years ago. This used to be a farm. It's been preserved. Hey, Corbar! And you see that the front of it says... Yeah, hey, yeah, it's so good to see you. Hey! and he, he's got gardening gloves on and he's pulling up some weeds. It's the Ledgewood Community Garden. And there's like 6 different volunteers who are working there that day to keep everything in order. And they're all gonna go home with fruits and vegetables. How's it going, Corbar? How are you?
Oh my God! Did you hear the news? There's just gonna be a carnival here, and it's all in the big old field over there.
We all saw the huge...
You saw it too?
We saw that airship go right overhead. I haven't seen anything like that in all my years, ever. I've really never seen an airship before. They're super, super rare.
I mean, you didn't even like see airships like when the town all had all those.
It was even before my time. They say that somebody came through in one of the generals of the big war, but like it was in the middle of the night. They were going into the mountains, and so I see in that one quite something to see that. Yeah, really.
Wow.
Also, it was like light stains and all over it. They seem to do up a good show. It's too bad. I don't know that I'm gonna get to go. It's like I think it's a whole silver piece to get some tickets.
A whole silver piece.
It's a whole silver piece. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna be staying here. I'll probably sit on the docks.
Wait, with that much money, I think only like 5 people in the town will be able to afford to go.
Well, there's a couple. I wouldn't say it's that, but yeah. I mean, some of us are gonna go for sure. Some people are gonna scrape up enough to get their children. I don't have kids, so the people with kids, they're making sure they get to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, you want to do some gardening?
Oh my God, I'd love to use some gardening. That's why I'm here.
Great, you do some gardening. Go ahead and add to your inventory 2 tomatoes. So you get some.
Now I can throw tomatoes at bad performances later if I so choose.
If such a thing were to be chosen. Yeah, so you've got 2 tomatoes from the gardening. You do some gardening. Great. It is, I'm going to say that takes most of the time. You probably swing by your house, Tuck Sherry.
Yeah, I want to stop by real quick to say hi to Uncle Taki and see if he's gotten any new things about that divination thing that happened.
Tuck Sherrymus is walking around in his study. So he's not on the ground floor. The ground floor is just the walls are covered in notes. There's books open everywhere. And as you go up the spiral staircase, you see him sort of like pulling books down. No, it doesn't seem like it's literally about seeing the future. I should always be able to do it. There's not. Oh, hey, Corbar.
Hey.
How long you been standing there?
Well, about like 13 seconds or so. You were really focused, and I didn't want to disturb you.
I can't see anything. I can't see the future. I can't see the present. I'm losing.
You can see me.
I can't see you. You're right. You see, he relaxes. Whew. This is just. I'm very stressed. It really shouldn't happen. I'm not that advanced of age,
Maybe I should play some music. That always calms everybody down.
I don't know. Go ahead and roll a performance check. I don't think you wait for him to say anything. You just go for it, or yeah.
I'm a bard. Performance is my thing. I need to work that in somehow.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a performance check for me.
Oh man, 24.
And earlier you asked me what those banners looked like, so I'm gonna have to ask, what does this performance sound like?
Okay, because of my theme music, this is just like I take out my lute and just play some straight up Django Reinhardt kind of finger picking on this lute, and I kind of mix it up with like some percussion slapping on the lute to kind of like, I think it's like this kind of Rodrigo y Gabriela kind of flamenco kind of style thing. And hell, with the 24, I can really make it whatever I want.
Whatever you want, you can. Yeah, you play very well, and you see your uncle, despite himself, his toe gets tapping, and he starts moving. He's like, oh, I guess I mean, I can always try again tomorrow, right? And you guys have a little dance party in the library. All right. Well, okay, Corbar, I've heard people. The mailman came and he said there's a carnival in town. I assume you're going. Do you need And he reaches into like his hand goes through the bookshelf a little ways and he comes back out and he hands you, here, I've got a little pouch of silver pieces there if you'd like them. I've been saving them for you. Yeah, there's 5 in there.
Okay.
5 silver pieces.
I get 5 more silver pieces.
Yes.
Okay.
And also gold pieces are worth 10 of them, just so you know. So you have some. Anyway,
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, okay.
So it's like a base 10 conversion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep hitting these books because there seems to be. I just think, I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one with this problem, but maybe I should try to contact other ones in my order, and maybe they'll be able to help figure out what's going on.
I've never been able to see the future, and it's been okay for me.
Yeah, that's okay, Corbar. Yeah. I know. We tried, and you got the music, and that's good. Okay, all right. Go on to the carnival now. I really, and he like is pushing you out the door, and is like, bye.
Have fun.
Books are fun. And it's about time to head over to the carnival. So you arrive and you find at the welcome tent a little goblin by the name of Maggie. Hello and welcome to the Carnival of the Moon. Tickets get you access to all of our wonderful games.
All of them?
It's technically free to just wander in, but if you want to play the game...
Okay, and he just goes running in.
Wait, but you can't... Okay, all right. Well, hopefully I'll see you. Do you want a map?
I like exploring.
Okay, you don't want a map. You really... Great, you wander in without a map. So you can't see what I'm about to show you. Awesome. You are right. So, Corbar, you run into the carnival. It is lit by floating pixie lights that seem to move up and down the various rows. There are people wandering around, fire coming out of their mouths as they delight people. There are jesters and clowns who are running through. There's a mist that seems to permeate everything that reveals little areas at a time and hides the rest of the carnival, and that mist is working very hard to keep some of this neon fluorescence at bay, so it sort of like is constantly shining. At the top, as you run past this tower that has at the very top of it a moon that is like a little bit lit up. As the carnival has begun, it is at its first, the waning, whatever the first sliver waning is. And you look at it, and this is gonna tell the time throughout the evening, and you think something fun and exciting is gonna happen when it hits the full moon. Mick is at the food and court. Go ahead, Corbar, and put your token by that first lookout tower.
Okay, cool. So what can I see in my vicinity?
Well, you don't have a map, so you can see a tower. You see a path that leads off to the left and to the right and forward. You see like fairy lights dancing along the path forward and to the right.
So I just see the fairy lights and mist.
It's fairy lights and mist. Yeah, and there's kids who are running around who are like, oh, and they're following maps and that's taking them forward.
Which direction are the kids going?
The kids are...
I want to
Why do
follow
you
the
keep
kids.
map shaming Benjamin?
Yep. I am. You're gonna follow the children. So you follow the children, you run up, and they all go to the left, and you come into an area with a bunch of games.
What kind of games?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Welcome to
Who's saying this? Describe this person.
Hello, hi. And it's a carny. He's a human, and he's got like a bright cap on. And he's, on his side, he's got a little lute, like a little flute, and he's like, welcome, there's a variety of tests of ability here. You can try.
So, like, I'm barely paying attention to him. I'm just focusing on his lute and just admiring it.
You can, hey, my eyes are up here, buddy. What are you looking at? Hey.
So, like, what kind of loot is that?
Oh, this is a very ordinary lute. I use it to play, you've seen lutes before, right? And lutes? Flute is what I meant to say. I'm sorry. So he pulls it out and he's like... Yeah?
Can I try it?
Do you have a ticket?
I was told it was free.
Well, entrance is free, but like the doing things and playing my flute, I need to take a ticket from you. Do you have any tickets?
Nope.
Okay. Well, if you want tickets, you can go ask Maggie. You get 8 tickets for a single silver piece. So anyway, I have to go help with these children now. And he like shows up in front of a group of children and they're all delighted and adoring. He's like, yes, over here. You can bob for apples or you can play archery. Maybe not you. You look a little young for archery. But can you pull the sword from the stone? And so like there's like a bunch of little games there that have various prizes and stuff. You see people winning like little stuffed bears. It's like, oh, I did it. And some people have masks of foxes and raccoons and other sorts of things. And they're running around in the mist, enjoying themselves. Great. So let's come over to Thing now. Thing, you are waiting behind the big top, and you're gonna do a quick little bromir. I keep confusing now for boron. Bromar. He's a big hulking rock genasi. Hey there, Thing. How are ya?
Statement. Let's do this.
All right, let's get limbered up. Let's go ahead. We want to be ready before the big event. You go ahead. You try. You see if you can land a punch on good old B. Oh,
just boom.
Yeah, roll me an attack roll. Let's see.
Right in the rock schnoz.
This is probably gonna end terrible.
Oh, it will.
For promo.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
What? You don't.
It's all good.
Nice, good try. Yeah, that's good. You gotta make sure you start. This is good. You remember what we talked about. You start simply. They think it's not gonna go well. I'm gonna try and hit you now. Here we go. Ready? And he 17. Does that hit you?
Nope.
He reaches out to punch you, connects, but just hits like part of your arm that nothing happens. Oh, okay. We gotta have a little give and take, and you're going on and preparing to do this boxing thing. While you guys
Thing understands.
While you're doing this, Mick, are you staying at your popcorn station?
I'm on top of my car, just like spying on my spyglass, just looking around. I figured out they don't sell tickets inside the thing. They have a choke point where they sell all the tickets. That's bottleneck. Shouldn't have done it myself. But I don't run the show. I just sell popcorn.
Awesome. So you're just thinking about the design of the carnival. Thanks. And children are coming up and they're trying to buy popcorn. And you see, sorry, your meatball's name is what? I need to write it down.
Glug Glug.
Glub,
Glug Glug. Glug Glug has it handled. The children love Glug Glug. They're sort of running up and they're like, yeah, and like dropping him a copper piece, and he goes glug 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 glug, and handing the popcorn. It's coming out of the machine.
5 copper pieces.
Glug 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 glug. And the children are shelling over more money. But Glug Glug has it.
Glug Glug is just pointing at a sign that says 5 copper pieces. I mean,
and children are carrying like big buckets of popcorn. It's like, wow! And they're running around having a great time. And you don't need to stay at the cart. Glug Glug has it. Glug Glug's got this handled. So you can choose where you want to go otherwise.
well, I walk around trying to I'm creeping closer to Thing.
Awesome.
What is this thing doing now, anyway?
They're still boxing. They're still like, yeah. And he's
Ding, ding.
Yeah, it's Rock'em Sock'em robots, and one of them's rock, and one of them's actually a robot. So it's like, not a whole lot goes down, but it's there's a big finale in the big top that it is. But you sneak up behind him, yeah?
I wanna I have a bucket of popcorn that I took with me all the time, as I do. I want to cast. I don't know if I can do that.
Okay.
I want to cast
Yeah.
Ray of Sickness into it, but it doesn't poison. It just makes you sick. Like you catch a cold. It's a modified Ray of Sickness into the popcorn thing.
You want to make it a popcorn of
I want to
sickness.
poison the popcorn. Yes, that's what I want to do. With
Okay.
a cold.
It's not the way the spell works, but I will allow it with a relatively low Arcana check. Like, so go ahead and roll for me a Arcana, and tell me what you get.
I got 22.
You pull out one of those little, like, a packet that would flavor it, and you gesture at it, you sort of shake it up and down, and the color of it changes, and then you pour it all over the popcorn. For a moment, the popcorn is a sickly green color, and then it just becomes normal popcorn again. It looks just like popcorn. It absorbs it, and
Which
it
is
disappears.
already kind of green sickly as it is.
Yeah, but, now you can't tell the difference. So now you have a bowl of poison popcorn as you sneak up.
I
behind
approach
thing.
both of them and I engage.
Hey!
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome. Free popcorn sample for the handsome man who looks really tired and could use the extra carbs.
Oh, Thing, do you want some popcorn?
As Bromar is distracted,
Oh, great. All right. The fight. Sorry, the fight isn't till later, of course. Careful. Watch for the. Ow! You've got some fists, man. Well, I'd love some popcorn. Thanks. What's your name?
Mick. My name is Mick, and I sell popcorn. That's all I'm doing here.
Well, I'm Bromar, and we're gonna fight later. Thanks so much for this. And he throws the popcorn back, and immediately begins to vomit. Just like he has been told. I think he makes a save, but I'm not gonna make him make the save. Let me see what the spell says. What's the save he has to make to see if being totally surprised by it catches him off guard? So he immediately takes poison damage without question. So, I feel awful. And we'll see if he makes the Constitution save. What's your? Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't make the save.
Wait a second. I explicitly said it's not poison. It just makes you sick.
Oh,
No.
I don't feel so good. Oh,
Like he's not gonna die, but he's gonna feel like he wants to die.
I gotta go to the quarters. I gotta go to the latrine. You two just. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah, I'll take care of you. Yeah.
Oh. He looks.
Mick turns around and
Runs
looks at
off.
things. What a coincidence. He left us alone.
this is actually Thing just being like, sorry, this is a podcast. Thing is
Yeah.
like looking around, not really understanding what's going on. This wasn't part of the plan. This wasn't part of the routine. He's having some trouble adjusting to the new situation. He was expecting to just punch the rock a couple times and then go on into the actual show.
He'll be fine. Hey, can I call you AT? That was written on your chest. AT is fine. Can I call you AT?
Statement. Yes.
So, AT, what do you do around here?
I will say when he
Statement.
calls you AT, something like clicks. Something you go, huh? AT,
Yeah.
Go on. Statement.
Statement. Thing does what is needed. Thing does his purpose. Thing hits things.
That's a bunch of things you do. May I ask, if that would not trouble you, where do you come from? Like, were you built here? Do you come from a different place?
Sadness. Thing does not know. Thing has always
Alright.
been here.
You would save a lot of time if you don't tell me what kind of statement comes after what you're gonna say. Just a suggestion.
As this is going on, you hear inside the tent, and up next, the fabulous fighters here to demonstrate their world prowess. Please welcome The Rock and the Thing. Woo! And there's muted applause. There's not a lot of people in the big top. There's just like acts that happen in the big top. sort of at the top of every hour until the big event. And this is it's time. You look around. Your partner is not back. He is still running off to his tent. And you are being gestured in for your event.
Thing is expecting to do just goes in and starts getting ready for the fight. Starts warming up. Starts cracks
like
his
moves
brass
out of the
knuckles.
way, like as Thing just almost moves past him.
Yeah, just
through him.
Mick is ignored. Just this is my job. Do it.
A halfling pulls the curtain aside, being like, "Where Thing? Get in there! Hey, where's? Hey, okay. If he's not here, you here, hop on in. Go for him. Come on. You work here, right?" And somebody grabs you, Mick, and throws you in after Thing for the fight. Okay, great. So you come in. There's 15, 20 people scattered around some of them are holding popcorn. Others have like hunks of meat, and they are cheering, "Woo, go!" Some of them are like, "Go Rock! Where's Rock?" And there's and the maestro of the thing, who's not Monster Moon, he's somebody else, and he's like, "Welcome, a wild turn of events. No Rock, but just this little human versus Thing. Who will win?" I mean, that seems pretty obvious. But maybe there's a surprise.
I cast Ray of Sickness onto the MC.
You've used both. Okay, so he takes.
Before he finishes that sentence, because
Okay.
if Thing hits me, I'm dying.
The MC goes, "And now an incredible fight!" And he falls over and passes out because he doesn't have many hit points, and Ray of Sickness immediately puts him out. Please mark that you've used both.
I take over. An incredible fight against this fine building we're on. This is gonna be a wonderful spectacle. Go on, AT, you can do this.
Thing starts to scramble, realizing that something, needs to happen. This isn't the way that the fight is supposed to go. It's supposed to be scripted. They spar for a bit. One gets a hit. The rock guy, Thing takes the fall. Everybody cheers and goes on. So Thing just says the first things that come to his mind, and he yells out to the entire audience, attempting to be the Barker. "Question! Where is the rock? Answer! It doesn't matter where the rock is!"
I try to sneak out as Thing is yelling.
It doesn't matter where the rock is.
Thing takes on all challengers. We're going on to the next step of the phase where the rock is supposed to, take on members of the audience to show that, this was a legitimate fight. And Thing's like, Thing will accept challengers. Who challenges Thing?
What about him? Someone says as Mick is trying to sneak off into the back corner. Shouldn't he? He's on the stage already. Doesn't he challenge you?
I just keep walking. Don't look back. Just keep walking. Ignore them.
The halfling assistant who pulled the curtain aside watches you come out, looks out, and sees the maestro passed out. Oh boy. Okay. All right. And she runs out. "Well, everybody, that's it." And she just puts the guy up on her shoulders, trying to make it look like that should happen. "Looks like Thing really took out the maestro, huh? Come back, see the tiefling fire breather very soon. Bye, everybody. Go. She's saying to you, Thing, leave.
Thing just, okay, yeah, Thing goes after it.
And you exit. This is what the big top looks like, by the way. You were in here. There were, 15 people or so around. Okay, and I'll pop back to the map of the carnival now. Oh God, this little halfling. Oh man, she's slapping this guy to try and wake him up, and he's just sort of he's throwing up a little bit. Oh, what happened?
This whole carnival is full of vomit.
Yeah. Oh God.
Thing kneels over. Question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling now?
1. If I could say 0, I'd say 0. I got really sick and I passed out. I think I soiled myself. Oh God. I need to take me home. And the halfling's
Statement,
"Yeah, okay."
You did soil yourself.
the halfling Anita throws this maestro on her shoulders and just runs him to the staff quarters. So people are getting sick. This is not good. Maybe something's in the water. Oh God. Okay. So now Mick, you're back there as well. You were just hanging out. Thing has come back out, and Thing is kneeling down. Remember, you perceived that one of these holes was like jammed deep inside of AT, in a way that you noticed maybe might be a problem.
As Thing is distracted trying to revive this guy, I tried to pull it out.
Great, give me a strength
hand?
check. No, strength.
It's not gonna.
Give me.
Not gonna be good.
Give me a. What'd you roll? What is it? You roll a 1.
Yep.
You go to yank on this thing. As you yank on it, it doesn't move, but Thing straightens up, and you like for a second hang off the side of it and then drop to the ground.
Thing turns around. Question. Why?
Well, you see, that banner you have on your back, it looks really good, and I thought you would like to give it to me as a present for helping your friend get rid of all that bad, vial he had in his stomach, as a trade-off.
Thing stops for a moment. You can't actually see the gears turning, but you can sort of see the gears turning.
You can hear them.
Yeah. Statement. Okay.
How about you give me a hand and just pull it out of your back by yourself?
I'm gonna say that on that one, you discovered that it's pretty well jammed in there, and yeah,
And Thing can't quite reach. It's that one part of your back that you can never wash yourself. It's right there, which on a 2.25 meter tall tree brass thing is a fairly large spot.
Great. So you guys are chatting about this, realizing it's going to be difficult to pull out. Benjamin, where do you... again...
I don't have a map.
You don't have a map. I can't ask you. Where do you want to go? As you're wandering, you've wandered through the games area, and you're just sort of wandering through the forest, and someone walks up to you and says... and they're...
Tell me what they look like.
They're a tiefling. They've got blue skin, and they're, like, juggling flame. And they're like, hello there. You seem to be a little lost. There's not a lot over here. The mirror hall is closed. Do you need... And starts juggling, like, 3 torches in one hand. One of these? And is holding a map. It's free, really. Totally free.
Also, there's a bunch of, like, used maps on the floor. Just, like, people are littering all over it. Like, you can't miss the maps.
Yeah. Would you? You little man? Huh?
I'm actually paying more attention to him juggling the flames, and I'm like, how did you do that with one hand?
Well, I'm very good at this. I've practiced for many, many years. Here, hold this, and throws the map at you, and pulls out another torch, lights it with a quick breath of fire, and starts juggling 4 of them, and says, truly, you must go check out that we've got an enchanted lake. We have an oracle on a lonely dock, a tarot reader. You could go for some refreshment. I hear we have some wonderful thing that's corn plus heat. I don't really understand it. You could see the pixie tree or the carousel. Really, anything at all. Oh, and he sees some children who's like, they'll love this. Watch. And he throws another one out from his, like, it was in a sleeve in his leg, and he flings it up, lights it, and grabs it, and now he has 5 of them, and he wanders over to the children. Yes, wonderful. And now you have a map, Corbar. Or it's on the ground in front of you.
Whether I like it or not.
Insert it into your character.
Where do you want to go?
So I should pass the tarot reader, right?
You do go past the tarot reader. Do you want to go into the tarot reader?
I'll give it a glance as I walk by.
You see a woman there with her hands templed like this.
Oh wait, I actually do want to talk to her.
Great. You lean in. You've actually got the real thing. Oh man, I don't have the real thing. Anyway.
Well, I could flip over a card if you wanted to do an actual reading. Yeah, we could do
I'm
this.
I'm a little too superstitious to do.
It's not real, anyways.
I know. I just don't. I have a made up. So anyway,
Okay.
let's vote. Okay.
So wait. So what does this tarot reader look like?
You give me a perception check.
Okay. Let's do this. I got a 10.
Okay, you see a fire genasi, so hair sort of like little sparks and like, and with bandana sort of holding it back, in a large dress. The inside of the tent is covered in maps and runes and various icons, and there's a table in the center that's totally clear. And you see this fire genasi who's about the size of a human, medium build, but seems sort of like arms a little bit longer, and like it almost seems like they glow just a little bit. In fact, they are the main source of light inside of this tent. There's a little bit of this moonlight that's being shed from the half moons of the Lookout Tower 1 and Lookout Tower 2 and the big top coming over, but a little bit of light inside. And the tarot reader is there and sees you looking in and says, would you be interested in a reading of your future, your past, your present?
Yeah, I have a question actually. Maybe you can help.
Maybe I can answer your question. Please come in. Give me your ticket.
Oh. So Corbar just like has this blank look on his face and just doesn't really know what to do because he doesn't have a ticket. So he's like,
you weren't given a ticket. Well, here, come in. She gestures for you to come in and sort of shuts the thing behind. We're not supposed to just straight exchange funds, but I suppose we must give a reading for one who wants it. So please sit. Here, give me a silver piece.
a silver piece. Okay. So, like, I hand over a silver piece, so yeah.
Great, go that and remove that from your inventory. And she begins to shuffle the deck. What is your question? Ask,
Yeah,
and the
so,
deck shall answer.
My uncle is a wizard who does divination. Every day he gets a vision, but today he had nothing. He couldn't see anything at all, and I want to know, what does that mean? If he sees nothing at all, what does that mean?
Fascinating. Divination. This is another school of divination. Maybe we will be able to answer. I will draw 3 cards to answer your question. One will tell you something of the past, one of the present, and one of the future. I can do limited interpretation, and hopefully it will mean something for you in the future. So, she starts to pull over the first card. And it is... the first card that she pulls... Here, just let this little music going. The first card she reveals, the Poisoned Cup. So it's a cup glowing with green light at the top of it. She reaches again and pulls out the Traveler. This is something of the present. And she reaches once more to pull out the last card. And it is... the Bear. A huge, hulking bear that fills most of the frame of the card. And she lays them in front. So, it seems in the past there is some sort of sickness, a problem, something perhaps just catching up to you now. A traveler, someone wandering through who may now be here and be able to help you. And in the future, either a great obstacle or great help. And that is your tarot reading. I wish you well as you continue and enjoy the carnival. It may be helpful to get tickets as well, just so you know. This sort of runs on a ticket economy here. Okay. Any questions about your reading? I can answer no more specifically than that. This is what the deck has given you.
Oh. Not really sure if it said anything about Uncle Taki, but okay.
It is hard to have the deck read someone who is not here. You'd have to bring your uncle. We are here for 8 days, so maybe bring him tomorrow.
Okay. Corbar makes this mental note to to persuade Uncle Tucky, because he knows that Uncle Tuck Service is very much not about the circus. So that will be like a good persuasion check that he'll have to do later.
Farewell, my young little gnome, and I hope you come back to my tent. I can only do 1 reading per day for a person, but perhaps you might want another. It was very nice. Farewell.
Okay.
And you exit the tent with a bit of portent for the future. Let me just make sure. Did we take a note of, you got poisoned cup? I have to take a note. Poisoned cup.
So poison cup, traveler bear.
Awesome. Cool. You exit, and you come out, and you see that people are gathering around the big tent. The moon is nearly full. And you see Monsieur Moon standing, gesturing for people to come in. Please, come, enter. We are about to witness the spectacle. A brand new acrobat achieves death-defying heights. Come, come. And he's running around and playing a small little hand flute as he welcomes everyone in. Come, come, come. The crowds have gathered. They're holding buckets of popcorns and chicken legs. Mick and Thing, you don't.
I asked Glob Glob to go around the crowd selling popcorn.
Glob Glob's really gotten into it. He's really barking it up. Like his first word pops out. Popcorn! 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 Popcorn!
I take a note. Glob Glob's gaining sentience. I kill Glob Glob.
The crowd gathers, and Thing, you don't have a role in this big final act, so you're welcome to just go into the tent.
Yeah.
I assume, does everyone go in?
You just stand there in the back, trying to be,
Cool.
Not really take attention away from anybody.
This is the big top. I'll describe this a bit as you're all gathering in. People are sitting on all of these benches gathered around. There's lots of kids who are like, oh, acrobats, oh my gosh, and like there are adults who are like, you overhear them saying like, I didn't think this was gonna be fun, but I'm having a great time. Those tests of, oh my gosh, great. I pulled the sword out of the stone and I got this like cool fox mask, really incredible. The walls of the big top go up and meet in the center where they're open, where there's the light of the moon shining straight down, this like artificial moon that's illuminating it. And again, there's a moon there and a moon on Lookout 1 and Lookout 2 that are sort of bathing the whole area in light. There are some pixie lights dancing around, also lighting it up. There's people running around. Glob Glob is selling popcorn. Glob, popcorn, popcorn, popcorn. And Maestro Moon arrives on the stage. Welcome, one and all. The crowd shudders and grows quiet. Now, for the main event of the night, you have come this wonderful evening to see a feat of untold majesty. The incredible acrobat Apella will leap up to the ceiling and will hang there suspended, and it will transport you back to your dreams of flying as it is. Your dreams will be unlocked and yours as you wish them. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, Apella! And he gestures and she steps out in front. And the crowd applauds. Woo! They're so excited. Oh my gosh! And as she steps into the front, 2 muscly humans stand by either side of her. And they begin an act where they fling her up high into the air and she lands, one hand on their head, and the crowd gasps, ooh, ah. And they throw her again and they sort of juggle her, and she's like landing each time with total grace as the crowd goes, and they begin for the final throw. This is what you saw them preparing for. They put their hands under her and begin, and at that moment the moon ticks to full. As it ticks to full, everyone roll me a perception check. And let me know what you get on that perception check.
So, where am I in the big top relative to...
Put yourself wherever you want.
Okay. So, I'm kind of like towards the side, so I'm not next to Mick and Thing, but I'm like on the
Glub
right
Glub is next to you.
That's called...
Oh my god, how does Glub Glub react towards me? me, or does Glub even notice me?
Glub's perception of the world is fuzzy. He just sees customers.
Okay, so
tell me what you got on your perception.
I got an 11.
17 for Thing.
Cool.
18.
Awesome. 11 for Corbar, and then 18 for Mick. Okay, great. So I'm gonna go in from lowest to highest. Corbar, you're watching this incredible act. As the moon ticks full, it bathes the whole, like before there were like little shadows and such in this big top, and it mostly kept everything focused on the stage, right? Like the light was sort of focused there. When it hits full, the whole audience is lit up, which is a little awkward when the whole audience gets lit up, right? It's like that moment the lights come up at intermission, right? And everyone is seen. And you hear people, what you think is like people maybe being awkward. Thing. You know that when the moon ticks full, it shouldn't do this. It should just be brighter on the stage. Like you've seen this before. Something different is happening. And you start to hear a sound coming from the crowd that could be them being awkward. You're still sort of learning how to read human sounds and stuff.
Yes.
Mick? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say that the fact that this isn't the way that things are usually done, Thing doesn't like that. He likes knowing what's going, or it, I guess, likes knowing what's going to happen. So as soon as something different happens, Thing tries to find the Monsieur Moon. Is Monsieur Moon visible anywhere in the big top at this point in time?
Glad you looked. Monsieur Moon is gone.
Monsieur Moon is gone. Things, no pun intended, are not looking good. Immediately, this is just instinctive. Before Thing can actually process it, is there anything around that could sort of be, anything that can like protect somebody? I see benches on the map. Is there like a barrel lid that can be a makeshift shield? Anything like that? This is just instinctive. Like something bad is happening. Protector mode is just kind of kicking in.
Totally. I'll come back to that in a second. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for
Yes.
Mick, the room lights up. You immediately know that this is different than the light that was before. Like the half light, it's not just brighter, it's doing something different in the room, which is why everything is lit up. It's like bouncing around the room. It's like refracting a lot more. Your sort of like arcana magic sense tingles. And what you hear is not people being awkward. You hear shocks of surprise. And as you look over, you see a kid who would want a bear throw it away as the bear starts to move. This little stuffed bear starts to move and grows larger and pounces onto the stage, which everyone notices. Mick, you just had a little heads up that something was happening with this stuffed bear.
I'm just like, oh my god, it's like the bear thing. Like, mentally.
It's the bear thing. The bear lands on the stage and lets out a roar straight at these three acrobats. And all around there are some masks that turn into rats. There are cats who go scurrying. All of a sudden, various toys and prizes are changing. And also from the other side leap up 3 hyenas onto the stage from various stuffed animals that people had won. And everyone roll initiative, please.
So we have like what, 4 enemies on stage? 5?
4 enemies on stage and 3 acrobats.
2.
Okay.
4.
2.
You got a 2. Mick's got a 4.
2.
And Corbar, what'd you get?
I got a 15.
Of course, the weakest fighter goes first.
That is where we'll end our episode. Tune in next week to see how they manage to, or if they manage to save these acrobats from certain despair. Thank you so much, everybody. I am so pumped to get into this. With that, I thus conclude the Offer's first ever tabletop role-playing game recorded to share. So thank you all so much for going on this adventure, both in our imaginations and in the world. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can check out these guys' details in the episode description, and we'll catch you next week. Cool. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
See you on the flip-flop, as we say.